I'm Liz Elton, and in my art practice I think about the processes of transformation and renewal, often thinking about waste and compost. And some of my work is made on compostable grounds, and I also photograph my own bin. So at home I like to make sure that any kitchen waste goes into a compost bin so the creatures and organisms in there can digest it, and any nutrients can be recycled, enriching the soil so it can be used to grow more food. I've got some of the compost from my bin here, and when this gets damp it smells really wonderful. So today I thought we could celebrate those processes of recycling in nature by making dynamic prints about kitchen waste and compost. And we're using things that we're likely to have to hand. I've been through my kitchen waste, and these are some of the things I think will make a good mark. So the materials that we have are paint. There's 3 colours of paint there. Brushes. If you don't have brushes, don't worry, you can use a piece of kitchen sponge. Some water, some little bits of scrap paper, some PVA glue, some ready cut A4 paper, but you can just use scrap paper if you want to, some kitchen towel and some newspaper, a wooden spoon, a pencil, and a piece of plastic that's been taped to a smooth surface. You could just tape it directly to the table if you like. So let's start the workshop. I've got a brush, and of my 3 colours I'm going to use the lightest one. I'm just going to mix it with a little bit of water, and I want to make a really brushy mark across this piece of plastic, something nice and gestural. It doesn't really matter too much how you do this. You can use some sponge if you want to. And I'm going to cover over the edges in a moment with a piece of newspaper. So I've cut myself a frame just by folding a piece of newspaper into 4 and then tearing out the middle, and that's just going to make the edges look a little bit neater. And I want my compost to look as if some air is coming into it, so I'm just going to mask a little bit with a bit of paper there. And I've got some scrap paper here, and I'm going to take some of this kitchen waste, some nice flat leaves, actually they look quite good, and I'm going to take another brush and another of the colours that I'm using. I think I'm going to use this nice bright green, and I'm going to paint over these leaves, and I'm actually going to use this little bit of scrap again later on. So I want to put that down, paint side up, and there's this little leaf as well. There we are. Just paint over it. So we get lots of paint onto the leaf, but we're also leaving a mark around it. And I'm going to put that paint side up. And then I'm going to take a piece of this paper and very quickly place that over the top. Now, I would often use oil paint here, but I think most people have probably got acrylic at home. But that just means if we use acrylics, I'm using acrylic in this case, and we just need to work quite fast because it dries quite quickly. And there are things that you can add to the paint to slow down the drying, but I'm not using that at the moment. We're just using the acrylic as it is, straight out of the tube. So there we go, let's see what we've got. There we are. So I'm just going to pull that leaf off. Take that one away. I'm going to move that so you can see what I'm doing here. So this is the start of our print, and I'm going to take another little bit of waste. I like these trimmings from carrot or any sort of root vegetable. They make quite nice marks. And I'm going to take my 3rd colour and my 3rd brush. This is an earth colour called burnt sienna. I'll just quickly paint some paint onto those. And this time I'm going to place these paint side down onto the surface. make some nice marks. I like to break the edges so it looks like everything is breaking down. I'll just get a little bit of kitchen towel, put that over the top. And this is where my wooden spoon comes in. So anything smooth will do, but you can get a better mark if you just rub down with a smooth surface. Yeah, and the third one. I'll take those off. You've got some nice marks from the carrot. I want to take another piece of waste. I've got these lemon slices out of some drinks. I think I might use the green again. Just pop a bit of paint on that. And I'm quickly going to press that down. Again, breaking the edges so we get the idea that everything is breaking down and mixing up in the compost bin. Let's just put a little bit more on there. Now, the good thing about this acrylic is it has dried quite quickly, and I want to get my hand into this print. So I just block that a little bit, that leaf. And I'm going to get my pencil and I'm going to draw around my hand. That's a little bit awkward. Might actually be easier to get someone else to do this. You can always go over the marks again later if you haven't quite got what you want. Here we are. Let's see what that looks like. So yeah, I think I just need to straighten that up there a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to come back to these pieces now. I like to have the absence of the leaf as well as the actual mark that it makes. So I'm just going to rip that off and I'm going to put that into the work up there. Just get a bit of PVA on the back. Place that there. Again, just breaking those edges. I think, oh, now I've got some drawings that I've made of some wood lice, just to remind us of some of the creatures that are in the compost bin. So I'm going to stick one of those on. You could just draw it straight onto the work if you like. And in the longer session we might do that. And then finally, I'm going to draw in some seeds just to remind us that new vegetables will grow in the soil when it's been enriched with this lovely compost. Maybe some beans. There we are. And one falling out of my hand there. And that's it. So that's a kitchen compost print. And in the longer session, we'll make 2 prints at the same time. So we've got some different colourways. And we'll also talk about how we can grow some of these lovely bean shoots at home in the kitchen to put into salads. So that was the kitchen compost print workshop for hospital rooms, and my name's Liz Elton. Thank you for joining me.